New neighbors and the dog poop. So I lived in a nice quiet neighborhood. Most of my neighbors are elderly and we get along pretty great. That was until my new neighbors moved in. Couple around my age with a baby and a never pick up after the dog, and yes, I've asked him to pick it up a few times. It got to the point I stopped asking. As I don't have a dog and it's annoying having to watch my steps walking in my yard, I feel I shouldn't have to pick it up. I've tracked dog crap into my house once. It was late night and it sent me over the edge. But I kept my cool because I hate blowing up on people, and plus I've asked so they know it's out there. Their dog barks constantly day and night. Lunged at a couple walking by. And is never on a leash. Never on a leash. I don't know what breed it is, but it's a massive dog. Easily over 110 pounds. It's a big dog. The police even came to their house telling them to leash the dog or animal control will be called. Our HOA states all dogs must be kept on a leash or in an invisible fence at all times when outside. I know this because I read the whole HOA book. The book has breed restrictions but not weight restrictions. So you can have a big dog, but only certain breeds aren't allowed in our neighborhood. I once overheard them laughing about me asking them to pick it up like it was a comical thing to ask. I didn't say anything about it because I knew how I was going to handle it. My neighbors got a new roof put on their house in February. So for the past 5 months I've been going out late night and throwing it on top of their roof with a shovel. Their brand new roof is littered in dog shit. Where we live it rains a lot during the springs, so all that poop was just turning into liquid as the spring season went by. And now that it's July, it's just cooking up there. I've never smelt it, but I know it's been cooking. Today 7/9/23, it's 98 degrees, pretty hot, but nice out. And it's finally happened. The wife, guessing they are married, is yelling at the husband that their whole upstairs smells like crap. I can hear this because I'm sitting on my back porch right now sipping some iced tea. They can't figure out why or how. The gagging is what made me laugh the most. I don't want the dog hurt or killed. I know it has to go somewhere, it can't hold its crap forever, I know this. But pick up after your dog. It's not my dog, I shouldn't have to clean up after it. You're welcome, neighbors. Signed, your petty neighbor, Max. Fantastic revenge. You were only returning their property. This was very civic-minded of you. Years ago, I had a neighbor who didn't pick up the poo. I would scoop it up, walk it back to their house, sometimes only 20 or 30 feet behind her. I would carefully place it on the driveway just outside the back door of their car. They had 3 kids. If they didn't pick it up, the kids would step into it getting into the car. When she yelled at me when she saw me do it, I just said, "You don't care if anybody else's kids step in it. Nobody cares if your kids do either." She started picking it up. At least while she was on our street with the dog. I really and truly hope they're deeply confused about how he even gets up there. Anyways, once they discover their roof shingled with shit. My parents had a neighbor who would walk his dog on a leash and take it to my parents' yard to poop. My father caught him red-handed one day. Asked him to please not do it again and to pick up his dog's poop. The guy was a jerk and said something nasty and left. That was the last straw for my father. He picked up all the poop he found in the yard and brought it over in a grocery bag, rang their bell, and handed it to the wife. Never happened again. Not picking up after your dog is pure trash person mentality. This is brilliant, hands clapping. A dude I worked with spent the winter scooping dog shit into his neighbor's fishing boat for this reason. The dog stopped pooping in his yard once spring came around and the neighbor wanted to use his boat. Same guy also had a lady from down the street who would walk her dog after dark. He scooped the shit back on the sidewalk. She stepped in it and had the nerve to call him out. He said, "It's your dog's shit, you shoulda picked it up." I wonder how much trouble one would get into if one returned the poop by slingshotting it at windows etc. Splat into open doors or garages. One can dream. One of my neighbors had a similar problem. He picked up the dog poop and saved it in a plastic bag. Once the bag was pretty full, he dumped it in the back of their pickup truck. Our neighbor had a Jack Russell he'd let run onto our property to shit. My mom asked him once or twice to pick up after his dog. He brushed it off. One morning I collected dog poop from our property. Then his property because he wasn't home. Went up to his house and slammed the poop as hard as I could on his porch steps and the bottom of his front door. Good luck cleaning soft, caked on dog shit from cement. Picked his dog's shit up every time after that. When I was growing up, a neighborhood dog would come and steal our shoes off our porch and take the shoes back to its house and chew them up. This happened many times and the owner would not do anything about it. So my mom started leaving poopy diapers for the dog to take home and tear up in their yard. This is perfection for shitty dog owners. We walk our 123 pounds Rottie 2-3 times a day and clean up in our yard. It's part of dog ownership. For a change, I'm glad to hear you're an NHOA. That may help with fines, animal control, etc. If this doesn't work, smear it on their windshield and door. I saw a video of someone smearing it on a door. I have followed you just to know the end of this story. It's been excellent so far, thank you. Petty good. One question: how is it that the odor of the baked poop isn't wafting over your patio and the neighborhood? I read one revenge where they saved the neighbor's dog droppings and after a large quantity built up, dumped it all on the neighbor's porch. Never happened again. Edit minor spelling correction. Paint their front door with it. No need for subtlety. This beats my dad flinging the neighbor's dog's poop back onto their lawn by 100 miles. Trophy pettiest revenge. OP. I would send each fresh package to their front door. Effing people like this should not have dog. It's not fair to the dog or anyone else. A little poop on the door handle of car is something I've seen happen, face with hand over mouth. Made me lol. Thanks for sharing. I really want an update once they figure it out. Has anyone else heard of the dinner staple shit on a shingle that is chipped beef in gravy served over a slice of bread toast? I always wondered where that term came from, and we've just been presented with one gross new theory. I'd save a load in a bucket and one night just drop it all outside their front door, see how they feel about having dog shit walked through their house. I asked a neighbor to pick up after their dog, and the next day the husband walks the dog patting the gun he was open carrying. Irresponsible dog owners are the worst. You were nicer than I would have been. I would have tossed on their front porch. Though your idea seems to have worked great. I had the same issue. Started out asking. Moved on to relocating in their front steps using a shovel. When that didn't work, I played hockey and would wrist shot it onto their Mercedes. That finally got the message across.